Hi, and welcome to another GNamer Videos Games. My name is Patrick Jason Stevens Michael Dante Chielti, otherwise known as the Balladeer.
I'm ZeroJones. No real name necessary.
And we're going to start off for you by... and this is our beloved mascot, Toon Link.
Toon Link, naturally.
Who sits in between us, steps in when things get too heated.
Yeah! Ooh, no, not yet.
Bless. So we're going to start off by talking about some matters to do with video games. Oh look, it's just said BMO came online on the Wii U behind there. Traitor. Anyway, so I'll start... Oh, we've also got our mugs of green tea,
Classic
as is
tea.
traditional. Cheers.
Cheers.
So I'll start by asking you, ZeroJones, what do you think about Nintendo going mobile?
Well, it can drip one of two ways, inevitably. In my heart, I believe that the company will probably be all right, and the brand won't be tarnished, as some fans are fearing, and so on and so forth. They've obviously taken a long time to come to this decision, so they've gone in with eyes open with what they feel to be the right partners. Who are making quite a success of the Final Fantasy franchise, I understand.
Were they responsible for all the bravest?
I'm not sure about that, but the more recent Explorers seems to be...
Because All the Bravest is the
thing.
prime example used by Jim Sterling and others of a mobile game that ought to be crushed, burned, and flung into the bottom of the sea in a vacuum-packed thermos flask.
Right. I have not the experience, but I've heard the reputation of All the Bravest. Very clever, the ATB thing. Oh, we're watching you, Square Enix, we're watching you.
I'm not. You're ugly. Got better things to do with my time.
They've gone in with DNA. I'm fairly sure that's how it's pronounced.
Denner? A Denner.
Who seem to know what they're doing, I think, had the experience. So I think it should be alright. It totally depends what the first game is and how big a name, how big a franchise that is they put to it.
That's true. I mean, I've got to admit I'm worried. When Nintendo first went on some mobile games, I wasn't actually that stressed. It's the Ninty fanboy part of me went, "Ah, what are you doing? What are you doing?" They'll be going on to the PS4 next. Blasphemy. But I recovered. Actually, okay, that's fine. I'm quite happy to buy little £5 games. Mario Endless Runner and what have you. I wasn't too worried about tarnishing the brand. Now we've got things like Pokemon Shuffle and Pokemon Rumble World.
They've come out too close together, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's not a pricing schematic I want to see them go down. Something like Steel Diver, yeah, fine. Absolutely. Or no, not Steel Diver, it's sequel, Sub Wars.
Yeah.
But I don't want them going down that free-to-play route. Otherwise we'll have Dungeon Keeper Mario mobile version before we know it.
Wasn't there an investor that said he would love to play a Mario game where you pay 99 cents to jump higher, or something similarly ridiculous? Please let that not happen.
Yes, Mario. They'll bring back Coin Mario from New Super Mario Brothers 2. He fires coins, and you have to pay 99 cents every time you want him to fire a coin. Anyway,
please no. Please no.
Agreed. Nintendo, if you're watching this, and obviously you are, none of that.
I'm sure it'll be a feast of pay once and play games that use the platform perfectly. We'll see.
Another topic?
Indeed, as is semi-traditional, I think we shall talk about what we've been playing and what we're going to play, what we're looking forward to the next month. It's a big month for Nintendo, the month of May.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm currently on Pokemon Shuffle. I have, in my defence, I don't even know what that means. There are 2 more monsters before I'm going to effectively give it up for Lent. I know Lent is over, but the equivalence of giving it up for a little while.
Well, I mean, you're not alone. It has been probably the most commented in gaming thread on the GNamer forum for a while, Old School, J Moyles, these great names of our forum have been joining you in that, so I can't shove too much contempt your way for it. I'll just shove it the game's way instead.
You know, if you're watching this, you probably know a little bit about what it is. It's a sort of semi-pleasing match 3 thing, except when you have a go of any level, whether you finish it or not, you lose one of your hearts, and these replenish every half hour. You can have 5, well you can actually have 6 maximum if you streak past enough people, don't let on. And there's all sorts of in-app purchases that you can do. You can get in-game currency for completing levels. And the best one to do this on is Meowth.
I almost wanted to do a spit take there, but that would be wasting precious green tea.
Green tea is a very valuable resource.
Yeah.
And it's becoming... I kind of flip-flop on it quite a lot, Pokemon Shuffle. It's becoming a bit of a duty, or it has been recently. I'm currently saving up coins to have a go at Mewtwo again, and then it'll just be Heatran, and then I'll put the game to one side, so I can probably play actual Pokemon. Anyone who follows me on Twitter knows that I've, in the past, posted... Ignore my colleague's sudden death. Knows that I've posted the occasional picture of Pokemon I've just caught, saying, please name this Pokemon non-rudely because I might trade it with my cousin. My cousin gave me a list of Pokemon that he wanted me to get for him because he can't go on the internet. So I did, and I have, and I've been getting back into it, doing a little bit of post-game stuff. Still haven't finished the Delta episode, that's ongoing as ever. Building myself up to, I'm told we've got 2 massive Pokemon to try and capture one after the other. I caught Mesprit the other day though.
Do you still have your Master Ball actually?
No, I don't have my Master Ball.
Oh, yeah.
Spent that on Kyogre because he had an Aqua Ring. You know, you'd full swipe him down, and then he'd replenish a little bit of energy. So I thought, I'm having none of this. So I simply Master Balled him in the face.
You simply master... Yeah, okay, that could have gone the wrong way.
I know. Wii U-wise, I'm currently playing Super Mario 64, which is similar to that. A legendary game that I'm slowly getting back into. I never really liked it. Never really liked it in the day. Come from the wonderful cartoony universe of Super Mario World, and suddenly there's this sort of jagged thing presented instead.
Sorry, that's more or less what Mario's face looks like in Super Mario 64.
Yeah. The camera has not aged well, and I had to switch the controls around a little bit, so I've got B to jump and Y to attack on the gamepad, and I'm feeling much more comfortable with this. I'm enjoying it. Next month, I'm into Kirby, and the rainbow cursed paintbrush thing, effort, doodah, and Splatoon. Now I've looked into it a little more. Splatoon is it's going to be a big one. Sir,
so what have I been playing recently? Well, I've tried a number of things on the eShop on my 3DS, none of which I've really got into, I have to say. I've tried Box Boy. It seemed a bit too simplistic so far. Sorry, Jess.
Yeah, that's part of the point of it.
Yeah,
sadly / brilliantly.
Yeah,
it depends on your take.
I know, and if it probably really appeals to a certain type of person. Again, sorry, Jess. But yeah, I've just found it a bit too minimalist. Then there's Azure Striker Gunvolt, which I've played a little bit of. It's a sort of vaguely Mega Man jump and gun, only your gun does minimal damage. It does, however, tag things, and once you've tagged them, you can press a button to give them a 10 kilovolts to the nipples. So that's quite good fun, but it's not very pick up and play-ish because the levels are quite long and you can't sort of pause in the middle. And it's not good enough that when I want to get home I want to play it over anything on my Wii U. And then I've just recently, finally, used the code that you gave me for Mario vs Donkey Kong Tipping Stars. I've played through the first level of that, and that seems alright. Again, it's quite simplistic, it's quite puzzly. It's not really my main sort of genre, but I'll give it a go. I played a little bit of Smash Brothers 3DS for the sole purpose of completing the All-Star and Classic modes with Mewtwo, who is a lot more fun to play as in this generation than he was in Melee when he was kind of floaty and useless. Now he's floaty and quite strong.
Never unlocked him in Melee, so I've played one Smash game with Mewtwo on the 3DS. Need to put him on my Wii U.
Well, I have been playing quite a bit of Smash Bros on the Wii U because you can just do 5-minute battles versus 3 CPUs. I can while away endless hours as that. Again, quite a few of them as Mewtwo. And then also, like you, I've been playing Super Mario 64. It was my favourite game ever before I played it again. Now, as you say, I'm not sure it still is. You've still got so many things that make it great. The level design is superb. The hub is, of standards not seen since Isle Delfino. And you can explore, you can do things in different orders, which is a great boon after, the galaxies. Here's a path for you to go down. And then Super Mario 3D World, we've got a bug a flagpole and a time limit on it. Again, Nintendo, I know you're watching. No more of that sort of thing. Proper 3D Mario, please. Galaxy 3 will be fine. Super Mario 3D World 2 is out. But yeah, so I'm currently on 69 stars after getting... I've just been sucked repeatedly into the whirlpool in Dire Docks, so that was little fun. The camera is a pain in the backside. The graphics, I still think it's aged reasonably well. Yeah, it's all rough and ready, but because it's quite a blocky style, it doesn't. Ocarina of Time is the example of a game I used that was brilliant at the time that has aged badly, because it's. Not only has it got Hyrule Field, which is a featureless wasteland, but it's. Link looks horrible, and the pre-rendered stuff looks horrible. Obviously, that's been patched over somewhat with a 3D remake, bringing it up to its rightful place as one of the greatest games of all time, which I think is what Super Mario 64 really needs. But I don't think its visuals have aged as badly as OOT. The camera is another story. Now, next month, like you say, it's a decent month. I can't say I'm terribly excited for... either the game where you suck lots of things in, or the game where you shoot out lots of thick globules of paint. I'll be getting both of them probably in due time, although I do need a decent online collection, I think, to get the most out of Splatoon. What I'm really excited for is Puzzles and Dragons. I want to play Puzzles and Dragons. I haven't had a really good puzzler, because I didn't play Pokemon the shitful, since, well, Pokemon Link Battle was alright. But yeah, I haven't had a really, really good puzzler probably since the DS, so it'll be good to have one of those. Okay, I think that's all I've got to say on the topic. Shall we move on to our third discussion topic?
I think so. I think that belongs to yourself.
It does belong to myself, so I'm gonna bring up the Nintendo NX. NXT console, you see what they did there. Remembering when they we're talking about the Nintendo Revolution and then changed the name to the Nintendo Wii, and I was really disappointed by the change of title. I don't think I'm going to have this problem this time. But, I guess the thing is, I want to ask you is, what do you think we're going to see, and what would you like to see?
The subject of much debate, because all that's been released, of course, is the name. If I get it right, the Enterprise, under the command of Jonathan Archer, was NX something or other. So I'm expecting a spaceship-sized console. The logic dictates it's time to replace the handheld, because that is the elder of the two machines.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you. There have been a lot of people saying that it's going to... putting aside the hybrid discussion for one moment and assuming that it's going to go down one of the two paths, there have been a lot of people assuming that it's going to replace the Wii U, and I still think... yes, the Wii U is probably going to need replacing slightly earlier than thought, but surely the 3DS would be replaced sooner.
The new 3DS puts a little bit of a spanner in the works on that one, but sooner. Yeah, I can totally agree with that. But we
haven't had that many huge games coming out for the new 3DS. Most of them have been ports. Xenoblade, MM3D.
Can only agree with that. I do not imagine it will be a third pillar, some sort of tablet-type affair. Although, history will judge this, and if it is, then you could say the Wii U was perhaps a stepping stone on the way to that. So I'm thinking, basically another DS-type console. I'm still shooting for it being called the HDS. But I sort of doubt that'll be, you know, an official HD screen. That's probably too expensive for Nintendo to.
And also every two generations they seem to sort of update their names, don't they? I mean, they had two generations. They had Game Boy, and then, if you don't count the Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, DS, 3DS. So logic dictates that the next one will be called something completely different, like the Nintendo Cow Catcher.
Part of me fears new Game Boy or something along those lines.
I don't think they'll go that far. Although it would be interesting, you know, if Game Boy's massively well selling. Well, as indeed is the DS, I suppose.
They're harking back to nostalgia. I mean, my new 3DS has got the SNES coloured buttons, for example. I mean, you know, you can spot clues. You know, when you open a door in your house, it could be anything at this point. But my personal guess is another handheld device of some kind.
And is that what you'd want?
Well, I'm going to say yes, I think.
Fair enough.
Nintendo tend to win the handheld market hands down. I know the Vita was traditionally more powerful and all that, but the innovation of the DS and 3DS seems to have won that particular fight. Dancing nearby. So I think it's time for another sort of earth-shattering one. They've got to learn from the 3DS launch that you need to have a proper system seller for people to buy it, so you can justify asking third parties to come on board and make plenty of games.
And they've got to learn from the Wii U launch that a 2D Mario will not do that on its own.
Indeed.
Now, I agree with you, actually. I'd like to... Yeah, I think it is going to be the new handheld. The fact that everybody seems to be assuming that it's... Jim Sterling is one of my... I know not everybody likes him. I quite enjoy his work. I don't enjoy his podcast so much because it's... Hey, look at how many times I can fit the word fuck into an hour. Well done, Jim Sterling. You want a medal. However, I do enjoy his other features, and he does seem to be assuming that... yeah, okay. He does seem to be assuming... That's too much classicness right there, isn't it?
I'd like to think so.
That's classic overload. He seems to assume that it's going to be a replacement for the Wii U. The Wii U is still having great games coming out for it, you know. We've got a Xenoblade Chronicles X coming out, which, you know, looks, frankly, orgasmic. We've got Splatoon coming out this week. We've got Yoshi's Woolly World coming up.
Small matter of this young man's future game as well.
Well, it won't be him, it'll be his adult version. Ah! Sorry, that sounded like a wounded camel.
I wouldn't know.
But yeah, no, I think it'll be a new handheld. I'm perfectly happy with the new handheld. I would rather see a new handheld than a hybrid, but that subject has been done to death, so I won't do it again. I know that there are several people who want to see a new hybrid. I know there are some people who want to see a tablet. Call me a bluff old traditionalist, but I'd just like to see them do something new with a handheld. If that handheld happens to be a tablet, then, you know, fine, so be it. I guess I prefer some buttons, but Nintendo have always been good at thinking up new ways to control things. So I want a handheld. I want a handheld that's more powerful than 3DS, that can run games like Xenoblade in its sleep. That would be nice. But more importantly than that, I want Nintendo to amaze me. I want them to bring out do some new, clever stuff that I didn't even know I wanted. And like you say, I want them to bring out some brilliant games rather than assuming that the name of the console will sell itself and not thinking, you know, bring out 3D, you know, Super Mario 3D Land 2 for launch if you have to. But just have something good to come with it. Okay?
Yeah, they thought they could trade on their name for this current generation. It's been a bit of a downfall.
Yep.
3DS has recovered. The Wii U is still in... Oh, you think it's dead? Critical condition.
No, not dead. Critical condition. But I salute the enjoyment it's given me so far. I think history will judge us as another GameCube.
I fully suspect that will be the case.
All right. So, should we move on to the last topic?
Well, the last topic is traditionally our curveball topic.
Traditionally, as in the last one we did.
Traditions have been set up. That's my take on it. So, given as we are in the run-up to a general election, how does my learned colleague feel about the current electoral system? Is first past the post the best for the country?
Oh, you troll. You absolute troll. Well, I mean, obviously, I feel that the right way to do this is just have Shigeru Miyamoto come over and say who he wants to run the company. Country. Ooh.
Nearly the same thing.
But then he'll probably say that everybody has to vote using motion controls. Like, wave your hands around if you vote for David Miliband. Put your hand on your head in despair if you want to vote for Nick Clegg.
Imagine playing a flute if you want to vote. Yeah.
And throw yourself into a passing car if you want to vote for Nigel Farage.
Please don't do that, viewers.
Please.
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 Thank you.
Now, I was saying beforehand, I have traditionally lived in two constituencies. Oh my god, he's so posh, like, literally, oh my god. Constituencies, both of which are very set in their ways. Constituency in countryside, very, very strongly conservative. Constituency in London, very strongly Labour. As such, I don't feel that my vote is going to have a single effect on the outcome of anything, and that's why I would prefer not to see first past the post. The approach I'd like to see is something closer to proportional representation, but with perhaps a threshold. I have to get a minimum number of votes to get anybody in to stop loonies like Farage getting in. Because I know occasionally you get really good local MPs who do good services for their community. Even if you don't like their party, you may want them to be in power. But the trouble is, when push comes to shove, they will tend to side with the rest of the party, and if you don't like the party, then, well, stuff you. But yeah, I'll obviously be voting for Mario. What about you, Mr. Jones?
Well, I think the issue of voting in the general election is quite a complicated one. I personally am going to side with the voting for the person of the party that I would like to run the country. Now, there are people who will be voting, as you say, to elect a local MP, the person who will do the best job for the area. Then there are people who will be voting for the person they want to be Prime Minister. So I think there's a lot of complicated things that need untying there. First past the post, is probably quite a simplistic way of... I'm mesmerised.
Carry on.
I'll try. It's quite a simplistic way of sorting such a thing out. So, yeah, more, as you say, something closer to proportional representation might be better. Who knew how radical this GNamer videos games would turn out to be?
Viva la revolución! Hasta la victoria siempre! Siempre. Okay.
Does that mean cut? Siempre?
Always.
No. Got it wrong.
But talking about cuts, I think it's about time to cut off this segment and go on to another one.
Okay, so we are recording the section, the first time playing, and just for your delight and delectation, we're on Mario Kart 8.
And this is the first time either of us have played not only this course, Big Blue, but also 200cc.
Expect crashes, swearing, and falling off.
Carnage. Absolute bloody carnage.
At least we get some good tunes. I'm the villager.
And I am Isabel, who has a really annoying voice. Right, where's the brake button?
Okay.
Okay. Wow! Lives up to the spelling.
Faster than ever before, and quite light for it. Just hit wow! I stopped playing because I thought I was going to fall off there, and I didn't.
Go for it.
This is sensational. Oh great, I've got a star! As if it isn't fast enough already. Of course I've waited. Oh, the ink's cleared. That's quite nice of it.
Real good. Where am I? In the wall. Fly!
Wow, I'm fourth and... Oh, good grief. That's a shame.
I heard it start. What's that doing?
I've lost the sense of what's going on at this stage. Is this the real life?
I think it may just be constant. Hard to tell.
There's quite a few things that are hard to tell. Uh-oh. Are you... Right, I've done the blue. I've launched a blue shell.
Oh, too late. Still, I will take third considering.
Oh. Oh. I thought it was the second lap.
Yeah. Oh, that went okay. Okay, so that's really fast racing with Animal Crossing people. In a car-sized beetle. Hooray!
Yay! Okay, we've come to the end of our time together. And just like to say goodbye in as many languages as we could possibly manage, including, of course, Mario.
Although it is lacking some hyphen A's, if I'm going to be pedantic. It should be thank you so much for playing my game.
Fa.
So anyway, with our green tea finished, and Simon's running out of juice, it's time for us to say goodbye. So Toon Link says goodbye.
I say goodbye.
And I say goodbye, and we'll hopefully see you sometime in the future for another episode of Videos Games. Until then, ciao!